Ever catch yourself thinking the world's getting louder but not necessarily kinder? It's a place of infinite noise where scrolling through feeds can feel like walking through a crowded room where everyone is shouting, but few are connecting. In this chaos, it's easy to feel like genuine change, real progress, is impossible. Then you meet a crew like this. They didn't just find their place in the world. They carved out new spaces for millions to follow. We're talking about a group of actors, athletes, filmmakers, and artists who looked at the blinding glare of the spotlight and decided it wasn't enough to simply stand in it. They chose to grab that light, bend it, and focus it like a laser on something bigger than their own fame. Below, we're celebrating 10 transgender trailblazers who are not just part of the conversation. They are actively rewriting the rules of our culture in real time. They are living proof that your identity is not an obstacle but a source of power. So, a fair warning is in order. By the end of this, your personal definition of impossible might just start to feel a whole lot smaller. Number 1. Laverne Cox. Let's start with an icon, the one and only Laverne Cox. When you picture Sophia Bursette, the unflinching, truth-telling heart of Orange is the New Black, you're seeing more than a character. You're witnessing the role that blasted a hole in the wall of mainstream television. Laverne didn't just play Sophia. She imbued her with a dignity and humanity that demanded audiences see trans people as more than a punchline. Before that historic role, her life was a relentless grind of dance classes in Alabama, followed by the hustle of New York City. A journey paved with countless rejection slips and the kind of soul-deep resilience you simply cannot fake. Her story wasn't one of overnight success, but of tenacious, unwavering belief in her own worth. When she famously says, "It's revolutionary for a trans person to just exist," she isn't being dramatic. She is giving a masterclass in honesty, speaking to the daily courage required to live authentically in a world that often demands conformity. Multiple Emmy nominations later, the first for any openly transgender actor, she didn't just rest on her laurels. She built a platform, founding a production company to tell more vital stories and becoming a daytime Emmy-winning producer for The T Word, a documentary exploring the lives of trans youth. Today, with millions of followers on Instagram, she continues to be the loudest, most glamorous cheerleader in the room, offering daily pep talks that are a mix of wisdom, fire, and radical self-love. Number 2. Carmen Carrera. Next up is a woman who blended fire and grace to walk her own path. Carmen Carrera first sashayed onto our screens on RuPaul's Drag Race, and when she left that stage, she didn't just walk away, she strutted directly into the history books. Imagine the audacity and the vision it took to become the first openly transgender model signed to Elite Model Management's prestigious New York board. That wasn't just a career move, it was an earthquake in the fashion industry, an industry notoriously rigid in its definitions of beauty. Since that groundbreaking moment, she has graced runways in London and Paris, and even shared the silver screen with legends like Meryl Streep. For Carmen, red carpets aren't just for posing, they are platforms. She uses them as megaphones to broadcast messages of body positivity and unapologetic trans inclusion, challenging the very foundations of who gets to be celebrated. But her work doesn't stop when the cameras are off. Somewhere between international runway gigs and high-fashion shoots, she founded CC3 Entertainment, a digital marketing agency with a specific mission: to create opportunities and amplify the voices of queer and LGBTQ+ creators. Carmen Carrera is a living testament to the idea that one person can, in fact, push open a multitude of doors, leaving them intentionally ajar for the next generation to walk through. Number 3. Lana Wachowski. Have you ever taken the red pill? Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality after watching a movie? If so, you have Lana Wachowski to thank. As one half of the visionary sibling duo behind The Matrix, she had already reshaped modern cinema and redefined the sci-fi genre for a generation before she ever stepped into her most public role. For years, she was a powerful but private figure. Then, in 2012, she stepped forward and with quiet courage, shattered another one of Hollywood's highest ceilings. She became the first major director of a billion-dollar franchise to live openly and proudly as a trans woman. Hollywood, an industry built on predictable narratives, blinked. It was a moment of profound significance that sent ripples through the entertainment world. But Lana wasn't finished. She then co-created Sense8, a a sprawling, ambitious Netflix series that was less a TV show and more a global love letter to every form of identity, connection, and empathy under the sun. It was a story that could only have been told by someone with her unique perspective. Now, her very presence on a call sheet, her name in the director's chair, signals a paradigm shift. It tells the entire industry that inclusive, authentic storytelling isn't a form of charity or a box-ticking exercise. It's cinematic gold. Number 4. Jazz Jennings. At just 6 years old, Jazz Jennings sat on a couch across from Barbara Walters on 2020's and did something extraordinary. She introduced herself to the world with a clarity and charm that was impossible to ignore. In that moment, she became one of the youngest and most visible transgender people in the world, articulating her truth with an innocence that disarmed millions. She didn't just share her story, she started a national conversation. Fast forward through the groundbreaking TLC reality series, I Am Jazz, which has documented her life for 8 seasons. Through it all, Jazz has invited cameras into the most intimate corners of her life, sharing the joys, the heartbreaks, and the sheer messiness of growing up trans in the public eye. The impact has been monumental. Parents from all over the world have written to her, saying that her show and her visibility literally saved their children's lives by showing them they weren't alone. And through it all, Jazz remains remarkably grounded, still a student herself, navigating her own path at Harvard University. Her name has appeared on Time's list of most influential teens, yet she is more likely to greet you with a disarming hug and a perfectly chosen meme than a list of her accolades. She has shown the world that vulnerability is a superpower. Number 5. Elliot Page. Remember the lovable, quick-witted misfit from the movie Juno? That authentic, intelligent spirit has always been at the core of Elliot Page's work. Today, he's still that person, only now he stands as arguably the most visible and influential transgender man in mainstream film. His coming out letter, posted in December 2020, was a cultural earthquake that didn't just get a lot of clicks. It broke the internet in the most meaningful way, sparking a global wave of support and conversation. The response was immediate and powerful. In a move of institutional respect, Netflix updated his credits on all his past work overnight, a small gesture that carried immense symbolic weight. Since that moment, Elliot has channeled his platform into relentless, powerful advocacy. He has testified before Congress, passionately speaking out against anti-trans legislation and defending the right to gender-affirming care. He has used his production company to create documentaries that center marginalized voices, and he has transformed every interview into a calm, firm, and educational clinic on the realities of trans healthcare and existence. When asked about his life now, his verdict is clear and powerful. I'm not wasting a single second. He is living with a palpable sense of joy and purpose, showing everyone what it looks like to finally, fully inhabit your own skin. Number 6. India Moore. Born and raised in the Bronx, India Moore is a force of nature who has redefined what it means to be a star in the modern age. After leaving an unaccepting home at just 14, they navigated the world with a fierce determination that would become their signature. Their breakout moment came with the role of Angel Evangelista in the revolutionary FX series Pose. Playing a trans woman navigating love, dreams, and survival in New York's 1980s ballroom scene, India didn't just act. They brought a raw, soulful authenticity to the screen that was breathtaking. The role catapulted them to global fame and made them a critical darling. But for India, the spotlight is a tool for change. They made history as the first transgender person to grace the cover of Elle magazine and were named one of Time's 100 most influential people in the world in 2019. They have used their platform to advocate fiercely for the rights of trans and non-binary people, especially youth of color, and during the pandemic, they organized grassroots fundraising efforts like Trans Santa to provide direct support to those in need. India Moore's career is a masterclass in using influence for good, proving that you can walk the high-fashion runways of Louis Vuitton and also stand firmly on the front lines of activism. Number 7. Skylar Bailar. Now for a story of immense courage in the fiercely competitive world of athletics. Meet Skylar Bailar. He's a swimmer, he's a Harvard graduate, and he is the first openly transgender man to compete on any NCAA Division I men's team in any sport. Let that sink in. He was initially recruited for the Harvard women's team, but during a gap year where he bravely confronted his mental health and eating disorder, He also came to terms with his gender identity. When he was offered a spot on the men's team, he made a historic choice. The NCAA, a massive and often rigid institution, literally had to adapt its rules and understanding in the wake of his journey. He traded the potential for more individual swimming trophies for something far more valuable and enduring: the chance to live his truth and change the world of sports forever. After graduating, he embarked on a nationwide school tour, standing in front of kids and telling them with calm conviction, "Your body's not a debate topic, it's home." His message is simple yet profound, a lifeline for young people grappling with their own identities. His social media is a vibrant mix of daily affirmations, impressive flip turns in the pool, and an unwavering message of radical self-acceptance. Schuyler Bailar proved that the true measure of strength isn't just what you can do in the water, but the waves you're willing to make in the world. Number 8. Chella Man. Chella Man's resume isn't just impressive, it's a bold refusal to be put in any single box. He is an artist, a model, an actor, and a powerful activist who navigates the world as a deaf, trans, genderqueer, Jewish, and Chinese person of color. Each facet of his identity informs the others, creating a unique and deeply insightful perspective that he shares with the world. He signs, speaks, and paints, creating a multi-layered tapestry of expression. You might recognize him as the superhero Jericho in the DC Universe series Titans, where he brought groundbreaking authenticity to the role. Or perhaps you've seen his powerful TED Talk, where he articulates the beauty and complexity of his intersecting identities. On his popular YouTube channel, you'll find a seamless blend of the personal and the political, where a tutorial on applying eyeliner can share screen time with a passionate discourse on disability rights and access. His art is an extension of his advocacy, a way to reclaim his body and explore his identity. His core mantra is both simple and profound: "My existence is resistance." With a massive online following, millions of people are watching that resistance daily, learning from his courage, creativity, and unwavering commitment to living his full, authentic truth. Number 9. Jamie Wilson. Jamie Wilson's journey began not on a Hollywood set, but with quiet courage in a bedroom in a conservative town. He started documenting his transition on social media, posting before and after photos that were raw, honest, and completely unfiltered, scars and all. Those images, shared with profound vulnerability, struck a chord. They went viral, and suddenly, this aspiring country musician from Florida found his posts being shared by thousands. Strangers from across the globe began flooding his inbox with messages, calling him brave, calling him an inspiration, and in many cases calling him a lifesaver. They saw in his journey a reflection of their own hopes. Jamie has since become a powerful advocate while pursuing his passion for music, aiming to break down barriers in the country music scene, a genre not traditionally known for its LGBTQ+ representation. His advocacy is deeply personal and practical. He understands the financial barriers to transition and has actively worked to raise funds for others' top surgeries. Scroll through his feed today, and you'll see a man living fully in his truth. It's a mix of fresh hope and fresh proof that our bodies are our own stories, and there is immense power in choosing to read them out loud for the world to hear.
Number 10. Hunter Schafer. You most likely know Hunter Schafer from her mesmerizing performance as Jules in the groundbreaking HBO series Euphoria. As an actress, she brought a level of depth, sensitivity, and humanity to the character that was celebrated by critics and audiences alike. But long before she was a household name, she was an activist. As a high school student in North Carolina, she was a plaintiff in a lawsuit challenging the discriminatory HB2 bathroom bill, fighting for the rights of trans people before she ever stepped onto a film set. That fighting spirit is woven into everything she does. A talented visual artist and model, she has worked with some of the biggest fashion houses in the world, bringing trans visibility to an industry that has historically lacked it. She uses her platform not just for self-expression, but to constantly advocate for her community, whether it's through interviews, art, or direct action. Hunter Schafer is part of a new generation of artists who see no separation between their craft and their convictions. She is proof that you can be both a celebrated artist and a committed activist, using your voice to ensure the path is easier for those who come next. Every story you've heard today is a testament to courage and authenticity. So now we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments whose journey hit you the hardest and, more importantly, why. Which story resonated with your own experience or opened your eyes to something new? If you learned something from this video, smash that like button. It truly helps spread these important messages. And be sure to share this with that one friend, you know, the one who sometimes swears that representation in the media doesn't really matter. Because as these 10 incredible individuals have shown us, not only does it matter, it can be life-saving. These 10 people, and so many others like them, made a conscious choice. They chose visibility over silence. They chose art over apology. They chose to live their truth in a world that often pressures people to hide. Every script they rewrite, every record they break, every barrier they shatter makes the path a little bit wider and a little bit smoother for whoever is coming up next. Their collective impact creates a ripple effect, fostering more understanding and empathy in the world. So here's to them for their talent, their resilience, and their unwavering spirit. And here's to you for daring to watch, to listen, and to cheer them on. Because when one of us is brave enough to shine a little brighter, it illuminates the way for all of us.